It's my home now, and I want to make that clear to everyone. I made it clear in America, and as I was coming back, well, I should say especially because Swamiji, before he left his body, he wanted me to be here in India and to continue his work, which I'm completely 100% dedicated to, and we have a great work to do here. So when I came back through immigrations in Delhi, I was in the line that said, you know, for passports, and they check your visa and all. So I was in the line, and then when I got up to the front, the man said, well, ma'am, didn't you notice you're in the wrong line? And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, this line is for Indians. And I looked up, I said, oh my gosh. And I said, I'm half Indian. So he said, you are? And I said, yes. So I said, I've been here 8.5 years. So he looked at my passport visa. He says, now what are you doing here? I said, well, I'm volunteering. Ananda Sangha. He says, oh, really? And so he does whatever, checks it out, and then he stamps, and then he says, here, now you're all Indian. So it's like the doors are open for this work to be here. And as I was in America, I love America. It's my home, my other home. I was born there, my biological family's there. I have friends from decades, from when we were in our 20s. We started at Ananda with Swamiji. There are many memories. I saw many similarities in the people there. First time I was really looking a lot for it, but I saw kindness. In America as well as India, you see that quality, outstanding. Love, you see that. Devotion, you see it. Dedication, longing for truth. These are things that I saw when I was there that reminded me of all of you here. And then when I was on the plane, I went to many places. One place was Singapore. I was watching one of the documentaries on the plane on the way to Singapore, and it was about the Kumbh Mela. So it was 45 minutes, and how many of you went to the Kumbh Mela this time? Several of you. Well, I didn't have the chance to go. I don't know if I would have gone. I think it was enough to watch the video for me, so, but I saw on there that there were many amazing things that happened. And of course, you go to bathe in the Ganges. It was an auspicious time and all of that. And but they had some other kind of strange things that they showed on the video. One man who had never sat down for like, I don't know, 20 years or something. And he was standing and one leg was in a sling kind of thing, and they interviewed him. Then they had one man whose arm had been raised. There are probably several people there, but his arm had been raised for like 12 years or something like that, and it was shriveled, but his arm was raised. And then they had one man who was pulling a car, and that was amazing. And then they had all the Nayaswamis, and they interviewed them, and it was fascinating. And in fact, I saw Uncle Vijay in front of the Metropolitan Mall. A couple of years ago, I saw a couple hundred Nayaswamis just walking right by the mall. I went, whoa, that's amazing. That's only in India. But they showed many different things, and the thought that came to my mind is, great, wonderful, extreme. How many people are going to do that to follow yoga? How many people even would desire to do that, to follow yoga? Extreme. Maybe 1 in a million people would do that. And what our masters brought was something for everybody. Lady Mahashaya, well, Master first, he said, yoga is not magic, sword swallowing, or crystal gazing, but the art of super living. The master on the BBC video, you've probably seen it, he lies down on the couch and he shows people how to sleep correctly. He says, you people do not know how to sleep correctly. And he means everybody's tense all the time. So he tenses his body, and then he relaxes, then he turns his eyes up to the spiritual eye, and he says, now I will go into a state of superconscious bliss, and he goes into a high state of consciousness. He did 3 things. He tensed his body, he relaxed, he pulled his eyes up to the spiritual eye. He didn't stand on one leg, he didn't raise an arm, he didn't pull a car. He just lifted his gaze. And he showed how in this age of Dwapara Yuga, that's why he came. He showed effective, powerful techniques that everybody could practice. And so, Lahiri Mahashaya, who had a job, he had his family, after he met Babaji, he stayed with his work 25 more years. That's a long time. He was an avatar, he was in super consciousness every day. He was dealing with his wife who thought he was a regular man. And remember the story, she's asking for money. Where's the money? And he says, well, what money? What do you need? I need money. On and on. She was nagging him. Suddenly, he's up on the ceiling. She looks up, whoa, what happened? And he says, how can a nothing give you anything? There's nothing here. And he said, one of my disciples will provide for you. From then on, she never slept with him. She saw him as her guru. But he had that power, but still, he stayed in the world. He worked with his family. He raised his children. He went to his accounting job. And he showed as an example that everybody can do this. Bring yoga into your daily life. And so Yoganandaji came with this teaching. He didn't come with extremes. He didn't come with fanaticism. He came with balance. Balanced living, yoga in daily life. Master brought techniques, high effective techniques of how to keep your body strong, of how to keep your aura strong, of how to keep your mind clear, how to be solution-oriented, how to be uplifted, how to be inspired, how to get solutions, how to be intuitive, how to be prosperous, successful. He gave things for daily life, and he brought a new wave of consciousness. He said original Christianity, original yoga is what he was bringing, not the old-time religion, so to speak. And people, you have to ask, why did he go to America? He didn't stay in India. One reason, there are plenty of saints and masters in India and in the Himalayas and all, but it was destined for Master to go to America. Other reasons, America was a new energy, new consciousness, high energy, lack of limitations. And someone on the street here by the house once, a little while ago, a lady, she's not all that balanced, I have to say, but I was walking from there to here, you know what I mean, and she says to me now, what caste are you from? I said, caste? I'm not in a caste. She couldn't accept that, but you must be from some caste. I said, I'm from America, we don't have a caste system. I am free. And I kept walking. She couldn't understand that. Wow, free? Free souls. A master brought teachings to free people, to come out of the limitations of who you are, who you think you are, man, woman, what nationality, what background, what caste, all of this. He came to lift you up. So he went first to America. And there were limitations, some there. There was a lot of prejudice. Master had to go through a lot by just being brown skinned. Then he had long hair. Then he had a beard, then he had a turban, then he had on robes. People said, one of his friends said, you can have a long hair or a beard, but you can't have both in America. So, but Guruji went, and he didn't have an easy time all the time, but he came to bring this uplift, this consciousness. Now, you have to ask, in America, you have to ask, why did he go? First of all, Babaji told him to go. Jesus Christ asked Babaji, send someone to America, send someone to the West to remind people of their spirituality. Master went for that reason. 2, Guruji had a vision of America. He didn't have a vision of Italy. Maybe he did, but he didn't talk about, he didn't have a vision of Africa. He had a vision of America. And he saw Americans. And he saw Babaji himself, Guruji. Babaji said, though, I feel the vibrations coming flood-like to me from America. And he said, I see potential saints in America. And remember, Master said that there were Eastern souls being born in Western bodies, and Western souls being born in Eastern bodies. So many people who were from the East before were living in America, probably. Maybe, I'm sure I was. You know, and so there were people who were from different places who were born in the other locations in this life. Another reason why Guruji came was that it was, he called Los Angeles the Benares of the West. How do you figure that? Los Angeles is all Hollywood, but Yoganandaji decided to found his work in Los Angeles. Wow. He must have felt that some holy vibrations from other civilizations, from other times, had been in that location. But he felt that there was deep spirituality in America, and particularly in Los Angeles. And so his holy shrines, all of his places are there. The next reason, why did Guruji go? It was destined to be. Now, Babaji, Jesus Christ, all of these masters saw that Master should and would go to the West, go to America. Now, I had an Agastya reading and I had a Brigu reading, both. Now, if you can see a Rishi, an avatar, Master calls Brigu in Autobiography of a Yogi. If an avatar can see in Treta Yuga, descending, which is what Swamiji told us, in Treta Yuga, there's no time and space limitations. You see everything happening all at once. So, Agastya, Brigu, these great ones saw, at that time of Treta Yuga, 5,000 years later, what would happen? And I can say for myself, when I went there, they said, your mother's name starts with an L. Well, it did. Then they went L-O. Yes, L-O-R. Lorraine. Well, that's my mother's name. How do they know that? Your father's name starts with a C. Hard C. C-L. Clarence. These aren't Indian names. Clarence. That's my father's name. He went on to describe various things. This was seen 5,000 years ago. Master coming to the West, the different masters coming, it was seen thousands and thousands of years ago. When I went to Brigu, he said, are you practicing Kriya Yoga? I said, yes. How do they know that? Because it's seen. You're directing a center in Gurgaon. How do they know? These things are destined to happen. So Guruji comes, he goes to America, he has thousands of people who come to his lectures, 3,000, 5,000 at a time. But before that, he was at the YMCA. Do you know what that is? Yeah, Young Men's Christian Association. So Master stayed there. I mean, he stayed in very humble dwellings at first. So he's there at the YMCA. And Dr. Lewis comes, his first student, and Master's sitting there. I mean, he was a master from many lives. He was an avatar for many lives. He comes, he sits in this little room, imagine, with a little bed and sink, and he's Jesus Christ. He's sitting there, and Dr. Lewis comes in, and Master looks at him, he says, Doctor, after he meets him and everything, he says, Doctor, it's going to be big here in America. And Dr. Lewis looks around the room, and he says, he just couldn't understand. How's it going to be big? Like, it's going to be big. Master could see it. He had the vision that thousands and thousands of people would come. He founded his work all throughout America, centers, retreats, facilities, his main organization. And the other thing he did, he found his great disciples. Many were in America. Isn't that interesting, Doc? he found his great disciples. He looked for them, they were looking for him, he found them. And one he found was Swami Kriyananda. At the age of 22, Swamiji comes to Master, and Master tells him, you're in charge of the monks. You go and speak on my behalf. You give Kriya Yoga. After 8 months he'd been with him. You're in charge of the office. You're in charge of the centers. Swamiji didn't know what happened. And why did he give him all that? Bond from past lives. He was his disciple from before. He was just continuing. And the other thing he gives Swamiji, which you all have to realize, what a blessing. He gets Swamiji to bring his teachings back to India. Every disciple had a particular role. Swamiji had the role from Guruji to reawaken the teachings of Kriya Yoga in India. So Swamiji, at the age of 78, Master tried to come himself 3 times with Swamiji. Kept saying, I'm bringing you to India, we're going to India, we're going to go to India. One time something happened, second time something happened, third time Master took his Masamadhi. So Swamiji comes alone. Isn't that interesting? He was here for a little while, but then he comes in a big way. At the age of 78, Swamiji comes back to India because he's supposed to come back to India because his guru told him, because from past lives he's been living in India and teaching in India, and these teachings of Sanatana Dharma, he's teaching again. So he comes back and he's in India. And what Swamiji brings, which is what I saw at Ananda village as well, and all the colonies. I went to Seattle, Laurelwood, I went to Sacramento, I went to Texas, I went to Palo Alto. Of course, I was at Ananda village, and I saw the same threads, which is what Master always brought as well. There were 3 main things that struck me on my trip, and I saw at every colony, some more than others. But I have to tell you before I get into that, I feel so blessed to be in India. I saw every place. I could have stayed in any place, but that wasn't my place. You understand the difference? I feel so blessed to be in India. And anyway, that's another story. But the things I saw, one was everywhere I went, I saw people doing seva, giving their lives to God, doing seva. This is Master and Swamiji talked about it so much. Guruji said, to be in tune with me, serve my work. And I saw hundreds of people everywhere serving joyfully, and to be in tune with me, serve my work. And the other one was, the channel is blessed by what flows through it. You all know Shamini. Shamini was a wonderful ambassador for India. I have to tell you, Sunny was there too. Shamini, the first time I saw her, because first she was a little shy, well, I don't know what to do. So I arrived there, and I was kind of being quiet the first week, trying to be quiet. So the first day I get there, I'm at the house I'm staying at, and I'm trying to be quiet in my room, and then my friend Naidruva comes in, she says, you have visitors. I said, who? Like, who has found me here? So here comes Shamini, here comes Sunny, and Sadhana Devi, hi! And I said, oh no, not you. But it was so wonderful to see them. But so the first time I saw Shamini at service, at where she was working, I wish I had had a camera. She had a glow on her face. She's one of our members here. She had a big black trash bag on her shoulder, full of trash. She was emptying the trash. All the rooms, everybody was doing all the seva there. It's no, you do this, you do that. Everybody does everything. And she was running across the field, smiling. And I said, Shamini, I love this picture of you. And she said, yes, I'm changing. It was so beautiful. Next time I saw her, she had rubber gloves and disinfectant. And she was cleaning. I said, Shamini, this is what Master loves. She said, I know, I'm having a wonderful time. She broke through. I don't do that. I don't touch a broom. I don't pick up a box. No. You know, I was pointing. There's nobody to point to. She was doing it herself. She was absolutely glowing. And all the people I saw, think of Ananda. How did Ananda get built? Every colony was many hands making a miracle. You know, everywhere people were serving happily, joyfully, and making great progress on the path. This is such an important thing to remember. As you serve, you grow. And as you want to keep to yourself, you just, there was another lady there from India. I don't remember her so well, but what a huge difference. And she was, well, I don't like that kind of work, and I don't know, I'm just going to go. And I said, well, why don't you come to the sadhanas? No, I don't get up that early. I said, well, you know, come later. No, I don't want to walk over there. And I said, well, why don't you? No, I don't want. I just, gee, why'd you come? You know, and he said, other person, sure, whatever, sure, yes, yes. Be positive. This was Guruji's way, whatever country you're from. Be positive, yes. Like last night we were doing with Suniti, we were talking about some meeting we were going to have, and when we come here, we'd do this, and I said, Suniti wasn't even that close by. I said, Suniti, what do you think about it? Yes! She didn't even know what it was about. That's what Seva's about. Yes, I will. Remember the story of that cement? They built the swimming pool, the monks, and Swamiji said they were chanting the whole way. How can you be better than that? Chanting. Chanting while doing your seva. They're chanting, you know, and one man, they were all so happy to do it for Master, and building him a swimming pool. He said he'd never used it, but, you know, it was the way Master could keep them close by. So there was one man sitting in the back, and he did a little bit, then he sat down. I didn't come here to pour cement. He didn't come. Wait, why did you come? Why did you come? Why? Ask yourself, why did you come? I remember Sonny and, who was that other fellow's name? And I know it was, you guys were in the garden at the Crystal Hermitage. Yeah, in the garden, planting, digging, you know, and I saw them afterwards. Their faces were just like, we had so much fun. Master laid it out. Have fun. Have fun through service. And so all of them, they worked around the clock. I think 12 hours or 24 hours or something. And they said they were so happy and full of energy. Everyone except the guy who still is tired. I didn't come to pour cement. Service, seva, jump in. Enjoy, find something to do. There's plenty of things. I remember one time I was going through such a hard time, and I was confused in my mind. You know, it was early on when I came here to India. Should I be here? Am I going to America? I didn't know what to do. And every day I would walk from B10 by 8, our ashram, to Swamiji's house, Guru Kripa, and I would do some seva over there. Then I walk back, and the days were just full. Remember when I first came, I went, I had just arrived in India and I was completely jet lagged. And I went to I came to the sadhana. And one thing I did in America, I went to that sadhana every day. I meditated with 20, 30 devotees, my friends from decades, every day. Oh, it was wonderful. So anyway, I came to the sadhana, and the person who was leading it was leaving. And I said, well, is this the right place? And they said, yeah, why don't you lead it? I said, I just got off the plane. Isn't there anybody else who can lead? He said, no, there's nobody. Gee! So then, after the sadhana, I go to my room, and within an hour, there's a knock on the door. And I said, can you do the class? I said, I've just arrived in India. There must be somebody else. I said, there's nobody else. So I do the class, you know, and then every day was like that, from the beginning to the end, and racing back and forth, doing everything, whatever. And I remember I was thinking, I have so much to think about because I have so many worries, but I have no time. I have no time to worry. And I I think that's what Guruji wants, just keeps you busy, and your karma is being worked out. Then finally, when you take a look, it's not there anymore. But if you keep looking, oh my God, look at that. How's that? Oh my God, it got bigger now. Oh, it's even bigger. That's what people do. Then if you just keep serving, things get shoveled away. Secondly, I would say satsang. Seva, then satsang. Have the time to be with Guru Bhais. I spent that kind of time at Ananda village in meditation, and we go for walks and everything like that. You change your consciousness from being in satsang. Last night we were chanting our hearts out. I just love that. Chanting is half the battle. Chanting with the Guru Bhais, meditating with your Guru Bhais, seeking God together. I mean, how many rooms can you be in where everybody in that room is thinking about God? At work? No. At the wedding? No. Mall? Definitely not. Where can you be? Where everybody in that room is thinking about God. That's satsang. You can find those places. That's what Master created. Through these kind of centers, colonies, retreats, meditation groups, everybody in the room. God alone. I have to tell a story though, while I'm on that topic, that we were a little while ago, maybe a couple of years ago, there was this group of us who Kriya Bonds, and we were saying God alone, God alone. That was a mantra. We just want God alone. So we decided, I mean, we were just all inspired. We decided we're going to come, we're going to meditate every, Saturday, when was it, Sunday? Every Saturday, Sunday. We were going to be there at 6 o'clock, and we were going to be there meditating 3 hours every week, because we wanted to find God in this lifetime. And everybody, yeah, I want, yes, me too, yes. And I said, okay, so everybody's going to be there, right? Yes, we're all going to be there. So, you know the end of the story. So, of course, I'm there, because I'll have to just walk down the stairs. So I went to the God alone meditation, and I'm alone. There's nobody else there. And I said, what happened? Everybody said, God alone. I said, I'm alone. I said, no, we definitely want to come. Definitely going to be there. It got better and better. But when you can really get in the room with other people, meditate together, chant together, have fun together. Swamiji would pull out the P.G. Woodhouse book. You remember? In Ananda village, when things got tense and tight, he'd, come on, P.G. Woodhouse. He'd read a funny story, or somebody would act it out. But it was all in fun. At Ananda, you don't have to take a drink to feel happy. Huh? The drink makes me feel happy. We're already drinking. You're drinking inside the bliss. You can be in an Ananda group. Everybody's howling with laughter. Not one person's taking a drink. No? Maybe had chocolate. You see, it's all coming from inside. There's so much joy. Ever new joy. And so be with Guru Bhais. Be with your spiritual family. This man would come to Ananda, and he would say, I only am coming for my wife. They'd drive up from the Bay Area, 3 hours. He'd say, I'm only coming for my wife. I'm not doing any program. I said, don't ask me. I'm fine with it. He'd sit there, and then he'd say, well, but I'll do seva. So he'd go do electrical work. This happened for months. And any acharya he saw said, I'm only here for my wife. And he said, sure, gee, what's the problem? But he was coming. He was in the energy of Ananda, you see. And he was only coming for his wife. And one day he came up to me and says, I'm taking discipleship today. I said, no, you're only coming for your wife, remember? He says, no, I'm taking discipleship today. I said, what happened? He said, I don't know. He didn't know what happened. He had just come in the satsang, he was at the village, everybody's happy, joyful, eating the wonderful vegetarian foods and, all the things that I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic. He was just changing. And he said, today I'm taking discipleship. Now he's a Kriyaman, core member, but, Master changed him from just the environment. Satsang changes you in ways you don't have to hammer on yourself. Get in the room. Be with the people. Sit with somebody who's meditated for a while. Come and chant with the people. Chant with the devotees. Come into the meditations in the morning. Come here. You find you walk out of the door a free person. Wow, that's wonderful. Finally, meditation. I just want to encourage you, by longer, deeper, guru-given meditation comes samadhi. Nobody can give it to you. You have to work at it yourself. But I meditated in all the temples of Ananda. I have to say, those were powerful temples. We've been here 8 months compared to 40 years. 30 years of meditations, of kriyas in those halls. The places meditate for you practically. We have to build the meditation vibrations in here, meaning people need to come to meditations. But remember that story Swamiji told of one woman who, she promised her guru that every day she'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and she would meditate. And she would hear, because she made that vow, she would hear this sound of his wooden chappals, his wooden slippers, coming every day like 5 minutes to 4. And she'd get up. She was so happy she could get up at 4 o'clock. That went on for days and days and days, weeks maybe. Then one day she said, I just don't want to do it. She didn't get up. And then she didn't get up, she didn't get up. You know what happens? It went the other way. She stopped hearing the shoes come. You have to reach out yourself. If you get up, whatever time you do it, it's up to you. But make a vow to yourself. This lifetime, I'm going as far as I can. I'm going to realize God. This can wait. That can wait, a great saint said. But my search for God cannot wait. And another that, I think of Swami Shankara, children are busy with playthings, youth with romance, adults with money, elderly with illness and disease. Who is busy with God? That's the question. So as we're here together to serve each other and help each other, to meditate together, have satsangs together, we bring the vibrations of Ananda, America, East and West, Swamiji's vibrations here to uplift us in their consciousness. Aim to merge with them in the light. God bless you all. Let's meditate a moment together.